Hello, my name is Sherilyn and I'm a music teacher from Malaysia. In this podcast, you will hear me share stories about my teaching career and other stuff that interests me, such that I want to share with you. Stay tuned and listen to what's coming next in this episode. Welcome again to another episode and tuning in to my adventures as a music teacher. So this past week, I have been busy with one thing, and that one thing is YouTube. So I'm a very heavy consumer of YouTube. I use YouTube to consume entertainment. I use YouTube to learn new things. Of course, sometimes I do listen to music on YouTube. And many a times I also use YouTube to learn how to teach. And many other times, I also use it to store videos. So secret tip about using YouTube is to use it as a cloud storage for videos. And the best part is you don't have to publicize the videos. You can just unlist them or keep them private. If you unlist them, you can share with certain amount of people or specific people so that it doesn't get into the wrong hands so easily. Personally, I do own a YouTube channel prior to having this brand name Cherthemusic. So I started having my own YouTube account, YouTube channel ever since I was in high school. Probably around 16, 17 years old. And I started doing piano covers. And during that time, piano covers was a very big deal. And especially for me at that time, teenagers at my age, we all watch a lot of Korean drama. So there's the hype about being able to play favorite Korean drama soundtrack on piano, and of course pop music in general. So I did a lot of that. I side read a lot of popular music and I upload it onto my YouTube channel. So for the longest time, I have this channel, and up to a point where I just stopped. Yeah, that was unfortunate. I stopped when I was doing my Form 6. That's the equivalent of A-levels or pre-university. So I got really busy and then I went to uni. I didn't post much videos. Although there were some university projects that I did and it was uploaded into that channel. But other than that, I didn't really maintain it the way I would when I was younger, because I actually developed quite a following. To date, I have about 200 to 300 over subscribers, but I doubt they follow my videos anymore because those subscribers subscribed me for the piano covers that I did. Only in recent years, especially last year, when I start to take my brand name Cherthemusic more seriously, where I start to teach or train teachers how to use technology to teach music, then I kind of revamp or reuse that channel. That was like very experimental, and in the long run, I did a lot of rebranding. I re-strategized a lot of things in that process, even up to this point. So now I own more than one YouTube channel. I dare not say how many channels I have, but there are a lot in the process of the experimentation. I do have a channel where I use it for my piano students. I have a channel where I use it for my school purpose. And of course, I have the channel for this platform as well, my Cherthemusic platform. So I was kind of inspired lately, and it was triggered by this event that happened in church. So due to the increased COVID cases in Malaysia, my church has advised that the worship team don't come for recordings anymore because it's way too risky. The numbers are way too high. So the worship team is advised to use -1, especially for the praise singers. And generally, the praise singers in churches are volunteers, so they don't really have the expertise to record at home. Technicalities like that. So as this COVID situation has been going on for more than a year already, and since I have a spare bit of time now, I volunteer to teach the worship members, or rather I try to teach the praise singers, the worship leaders, how to record videos of themselves singing to a song. So in a very general sense, it will be like recording a song cover. And the past month, I have been teaching my students how to use a particular app. It's called CapCut, CAPCUT. It's a very user-friendly app on mobile devices. So you can use it on Android or iOS devices. So I decided to volunteer to create a set of video tutorials for the church worship members and in hopes that they would try something new. If you have been listening since the first episode, I have been talking a lot about learning new things. So I sincerely hope that whoever watch my tutorials will learn something new and they will experience growth, whether in skill or whether in knowledge or work. It's all because that we are going through this painful period of getting used to the new norm. So growth is important so that we don't stay stagnant, so that we can move forward. Yeah, so this event triggered me and I started creating video tutorials for my brand name channel. So you can check it out if you want to. So in that process, I end up watching a lot of videos on YouTube algorithm because I suddenly decided that I don't want to unleash those tutorial videos. I felt like more people could use it. So I decided to put those videos on public. So it means you could check it out too if you want to. So I started looking into that, like how to grow my channel, because I don't really pay a lot of attention to the growth of my YouTube channel since I am not creating too much content. Since I do have my spare time now, I decided I would like to create some content and see how this works out. This is because the YouTube algorithm is not like how it used to be. So that's the difficult part of it. And at the same time, I was exploring, what's the SEO tools or what is marketing tools on YouTube and things like that. And especially when I was listening to this Tim Topham podcast episode, it's at episode 241, you can check it out. It's titled YouTube Masterclass with Carlos Pancheco. Yeah, if I'm not wrong, that's how you pronounce his guest name. So basically Carlos is his YouTube manager. So it was very interesting to hear the content that we should upload about SEO, about marketing with YouTube. So I was very inspired by that particular episode because I didn't think about how I could share knowledge but at the same time share it efficiently so that my target audience gets it. So I decided hey, I should take this opportunity to experiment a bit how to kind of grow my channel from scratch. And I really did take Carlos' advice on not uploading video podcasts that doesn't show anything and it's just audio. I do realize that that's kind of redundant, so hence why I am doing more video podcasts now that will show my face or it will show you the work that I'm doing. So listening to all that and compounded with the fact that I am creating tutorials for general public, I decided to dive deep into this sea of YouTube algorithm and how YouTube really works. So like I said earlier, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos about how to reach 1,000 subscribers, or how to understand YouTube insights, or how to use SEO tools to drive traffic. This kind of catchphrases, I watch as many videos as possible and they all generally say more or less the same thing. So it's really up to you. If you are jumping into this, you want to create a new YouTube channel, you really have to do a lot of research, a lot of studying, and then try to churn out content that people want to watch, and also put the right settings on the video so that more people will watch it. So really, I did spend quite a bit of time watching these videos and absorbing as much as I can, and it was all very interesting until I started doing it myself. So one of the few things I did was purchasing a 1-month subscription of TubeBuddy. It's basically an SEO tool that is embedded inside YouTube, and you can use it to help you find most used keywords, or keywords that drives a lot of traffic, and it also helps you to find topics. But it's best that if you have a niche, then these keywords will be relevant. At the same time, I also learned how to design better video thumbnails. I really don't pay a lot of attention to video thumbnails. In the past, I'll just put a blank background and then just put the title on the the blank background and simply like that. And I even use a stock image just to attract people. But I do realize after studying a little bit about how to utilize video thumbnails, I kind of went a step further by taking interesting photos of myself in certain poses. I find it quite embarrassing. You can check them out on my Cherthemusic YouTube channel. But in that process, I learned to edit the video thumbnail on Canva, and I realized that Canva is such a wonderful tool. So it was interesting because I get to access the tools that can help me remove the background, create a transparent background, and make my pictures pop, use nice font, and really adjust and custom sizes, creating different thumbnails for different social media platforms, things like that. So I used that and I threw it all into the video. And I even learned how to create nice video titles, so basically text that will show different segments or present what this segment of the video is about, and the credits, and how to create moving transitions and things like that, all with Canva. And I applied it to my video editor. So it was all very interesting because a lot of work goes into it, and I really enjoy the learning process because I do see there's an increased view of videos and there's an increase of subscribers as well. I mean, for now it's been only 1 week. The small progress that I've made really helped a lot because I even revamped the settings of my previous videos, those which are already public, and I noticed that there is an increased view in those videos as well. So I concluded that learning SEO is really important. It's really significant if you want to drive traffic to a social media platform. Just in case you don't know what is SEO, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. In my own words, it means how could I drive traffic to a piece of content to the maximum and optimize all the settings, all the tools available for me to get my content reachable or get it to my target audience. So I'm going to read from a list here, like a whole bunch of stuff that I learned in the past week. There are things like learning how to use keyword tag or hashtag, if some of you know about it. Learning how to create nice video titles, putting the right information into the video, like the video name, the description, the text, the design, as I mentioned just now, of the video thumbnail, animate the titles. Yeah, I also explored this thing called chroma factors, chroma key, or for those who record with green screens will understand this. So basically, I even learned how to utilize that when I create transitions on my videos. And I thought it was pretty cool because I wasn't able to do that in the past. I mean, I don't create green screen videos, but there are images that we can convert to that uses green screen effect, and then it gets applied to the video. And a few other things that I learned is like audience retention, like why is that important in YouTube, and especially for the videos. Each video has a certain percentage of, I won't be able to make use of that data now because my channel is still so small and not many people or not enough people are watching my videos yet. So I think it will take some time to see some nice looking data, but it's promising. It's promising because I can see that there is an increase of traffic to my YouTube channel. So please, if you are listening to this, I would appreciate it very much if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be a huge encouragement as well. And a few other things that I also learned to do in the past week is creating soundbites. So basically, soundbite is like short clip of a particular content. So for example, I create this video tutorial for like 3 minutes. So I create small clips, or I take a small section of that video, of that tutorial, and make it into a 30-second to a minute's worth so that my audience can catch a glimpse of it if they do come across that soundbite in Instagram or even LinkedIn, because different platforms have different preference to certain types of videos. So I learned that especially on places like LinkedIn and Instagram, long-form videos are not too popular. I may be wrong, but in my experience, long-form videos don't seem to be popular. And especially now with the popularity of platforms like TikTok, the attention span of our audience is getting shorter and shorter. So sound bites are really helpful to get people to catch a summary of what your full piece content is about. So if they like what they see on the soundbite or they like what they hear on the soundbite, they will go to the platform like YouTube where the whole piece of content, the whole video tutorial can be watched. So I learned things a little bit on the hard way because I have experience putting up long form videos on Facebook, on Instagram, and they don't always perform well. So that's the downside of certain length of content on certain platforms. So these are the key things that a content creator has to know. So I use this online video editing platform called Kapwing, Kapwing. In my opinion, Kapwing is a very user-friendly video editing platform. You don't have to download the software, you just use it on your web browser. But of course, editing your videos on the web browser can be easy and can be difficult at the same time. There are always pros and cons when you get a software or you use an app or even if you use a website. Perhaps I'll talk about that in another podcast episode. So because I want to create sound bites, I felt like it was easier if I just use a platform like Kapwing because there were certain features on it that were really cool. I could add a progress bar at the bottom of the video so that the audience can gauge how long or how short the video is. At the same time, it has this tool where it can add subtitles and there's a auto generation tool for that. So I really like that because I don't have to type the text of my speech. It can auto detect and I just have to make some correction and it will appear very nicely on the video. So I do feel that my knowledge and especially my video editing skills has improved and it has grown exponentially in the past week, because I feel that my past videos were never like that before, and I really do hope that I can keep up with it because I still have a full-time job. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. So all this is just for learning, experiential purposes. It's just for me to know and how I can also share this knowledge with my students, especially if they want to be content creators. Another thought that I have is it does pay to work a little bit harder on creating nice videos, and I do recognize and respect content creators out there because I'm a musician myself. I do create videos sometimes and it really takes a lot of effort to create this content, and I want my students to know that. But all in all, I feel that video editing now has become a longer process for me because I want my content to reach my audience. So I really don't know how long this streak will last because I am having my school holidays now for the next 2 weeks and I will get busier after that. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how I keep up with this new hobby or new skill. So I hope that you have learned something new in my video podcast today, and see you in the next episode. Thank you for joining my adventures, and I hope that you have learned something new. Feel free to connect with me on my social media handles, Share the Music, email me at sharethemusic@gmail.com, or visit my website, sharethemusic.org. I can't wait to hear from you and see you soon in the next episode.